afternoon, everybody. This is the back of Nagara. I came back here a couple of days ago to check on the rescue kitten again, and I did film my departure from Pamutaran, and that didn't go all that well, so I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do that in reverse. But I just wanted to bring you out here into the rice fields in the back of Nagara towards the coast, which is quite beautiful, really. But also there's a little bit of a different configuration with the microphone, which I'm not 100% happy with. The little magnetic clip that came with it, that's a Insta360 mic Air, broke. Fortunately it broke when I was getting the bike serviced, so the microphone just fell on the ground, but it could well have broke while I was travelling along, in which case I probably would have lost the microphone. So I've got this little pocket made from sewing person into the cheek pad of the helmet, and so it's kind of stuffed in that pocket, but I'm not 100% happy with it. It sounds a little muffled, so we might need to change that somehow. But anyway, I just wanted to bring you out into these rice fields, which are just absolutely delightful. So yeah, I don't know if I don't want to actually do much talking. We'll talk a little bit more as we go through on our way back to Pamutaran tomorrow. And it's around, you've got to travel from here west around the peninsula past where the ferry goes to East Java, and then around the mountain ranges to the other side, to the northern side. It's the northwest Bali, and it's actually quite sweet, so I'll show you that. I shot quite a bit of B-roll footage of that a couple of days ago, so I've got some great footage to show you. But yeah, these are just wide open rice field plains here. That's the mountain range in the background there. You can't get over that mountain range, and if you could, if there was a road which made its way there, Pamutaran would be pretty much directly opposite where we are now. But yeah, you've just got to go right the way around. But gee, look, you know, from the Pamutaran's point of view, the mountain range is quite proximal. It's just right in behind, and it's actually stunning. So you'll see all of that. But these rice fields are just delightful. And there's some people that have been working in the rice fields, and I've got some footage of that too, of how they use that little mud tractor thing to plough up after they've harvested the rice. They leave all the stalks in the ground, and then they actually plough those into the soil, which is really smart. And then they let that all just rot down for a while, and then they use this little tractor with a board on the back that they stand on and flatten all the mud back down to level, so that the water can cover, which is what rice actually needs, which is just fascinating. And it's why it grows here, of course, because there's just so much rain here. But it's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day here today. It's about 29 degrees. There's a little bit of a breeze coming in off the ocean. Not that cools anything down, because the ocean temperature is really quite high. But like here, this is a mature rice crop, and I don't know if you can see the rice. on there, and they've got all these strings with bits of tinsel hanging off it, most likely to keep the birds away. And then on the other side, you know, these have been planted maybe not that long ago, really, by the look of them. But yeah, it's just beautiful. Just palm trees everywhere, and there's open rice fields, and a beautiful warm balmy day on a quiet little twisty road through the back end of West Bali. How beautiful. Hello. And back into village. And that's about it. What I might do, oh, there's a bridge here, let's just go over that bridge. See what's there. Water. And it's not too bad. Well, you know, I mean, there's some rubbish on the foreshore there, but that's not actually too bad, really. You could clean that up that could be cleaned up quite easily, but these little rivers, the fishing boats are up and down these little rivers, and I showed you those in a previous video. I could probably pop some of that in again. Now the fishing boat's going out of the river mouth and into the ocean to catch fish every day. I think that's probably about, oh no, there's a little bit more. Oh, let's take that road. Let's just do that really quickly. Sorry about the noise there. Stuff. Let's just take this little road. And you know, I was thinking today, and I'm having a go at this YouTube channel, and you know, just forgive me for my inconsistency around uploading and so on, and also just how unpolished this whole thing is, really. But just bear with me. I'm kind of learning and just getting a little bit more used to actually speaking. I'm usually pretty private, but so yeah, being more of a public character isn't just doesn't come naturally. So but yeah, I'm actually writing a book, and I am getting a little bit of support from, and I'll say a little bit of support from AI, only really just to check the grammar and you know, and maybe a few other little bits and pieces. But gee whiz, I mean, we talk about AI as if like it's a real threat, but well, it's nothing. You know, I mean, there's another. It's called artificial intelligence, and there's another word for artificial, and that's fake. So you know, fake intelligence. It really, you know, I use it for a little bit of image generation stuff, and I think that it's really good there. And you know, some of those are fantastic for like Photoshop replacements, and sorry Photoshop, but you know, some of those image editing software replacements, and I do use some of that as well. But really, wow, it's really not that smart just yet, and I'm okay with filming all of these videos, but when it comes to actually sitting down and editing them, some of them just take hours, and they take hours, especially if you're doing, you know, if you're cutting B-roll and stuff in behind them, which I have been doing. I mean, some people don't do it. Some people will just grab a little selfie stick with a camera and just point it at their face, and just, you know, walk around with the camera pointed at their face for 20 minutes and speak for 20 minutes and turn the camera around, you know, 2 or 3 times during that. and switch it off, and then that's an upload. Well, I mean, I can't do that. And one of the things one of the reasons why I can't do that is because I just don't think my face is all that interesting. I think, you know, that whatever's going on out there is far more interesting than my face. And quite frankly, you know, if you really want to look at my face, you can just do it once, you know, take a screenshot of it and then look at it again when you feel like it. But I'm just not going to do that. It's just not going to be my style. So I'd rather that the camera was front facing and that you get to experience what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing. And that's really, for me, the whole point of this. And look, there's all the fishing boats there, just all lined up down. And I'll just pull up here quickly. I mean, I'm on the wrong side of the road. I'll just wave to this dude here, but we might be able to go down along that and just have a little look. But there's all those little fishing boats there, and they head out. These are all functional ones. There's a whole pile of non-functional ones on the beach at Pamutaran, and I'll drop some of that footage in there. And I look at all of those, and I think, gee whiz, what a waste, you know. I could sort of see myself on a little island with one of those things and going out and doing some fishing myself. And that might happen. I'm actually just thinking about what's my next move from here, because I'm supposed to be meeting somebody from New Zealand in early February. That's coming up in like a couple of weeks, and then I've got a breathwork and somatics course in early March. And then I've got like 2.5 months, and I'm just wondering which way I'm going to go. Whether I'm actually going to head to Sumatra. I've got a friend that does some website, some back-end website work for me in Padang in Sumatra, and I would love to go there. But that would mean that I'm riding from here across Java, and wow, I mean, most of that journey will be highways with smelly trucks, and I'm not 100% sure if that's what I really want to do. There probably won't be some back roads that I can take, but it's just such a busy place, and you know, my feeling is that it might not be that interesting. I haven't made up my mind yet, so there's that as a possibility. This looks like it's not going to go anywhere, so there you go. There's a little bit of mud there, and that's probably about the end of it for me. But yeah, so that'll be a decision that's coming up at some point, is whether or not we're going to head west from here to Sumatra, and then leave the scooter there and then go back to New Zealand for a couple of weeks before we come back here, or whether we're going to go east and we're going to go from here across to Lombok. We're going to do west Nusa Tenggara, and then we're going to do east Nusa Tenggara. So, you know, and I'm actually really attracted to all the idea of all those little islands and things, and maybe, you know, even staying in some of the villages in those areas, and instead of getting around on scooter, you know, getting around in some of these little boats. I'm just enormously attracted to the idea of that, and I don't know, maybe you know, there's a couple of weeks. Oh no, there's actually a month before that happens, so, you know, I'm not getting a lot of views, but whoever does view, maybe you could leave a comment about what you reckon I should do. But there you go, there's those boats, and I will pop in some of the footage of them exiting out the river mouth here, or if I have not already done that, and so you get to see how that happens. And there's a procession of them every day, of course, because that's their livelihood. And yeah, I'm going to bring you back up this little hill here. We're going to check that there's nothing coming. And look, it just opens out beautifully, right? There is that vista, and I hope you can see that. Look at that, the palm trees, the rice fields. There's a building there, the mountains in the background. It's just absolutely delightful. I hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll catch you on our way into Pamutaran. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.